G'day, g'day, g'day. It is Colin Clapp of Parenting, Passports and Profits, and I'm coming at you from Hoi An in Vietnam. Yep, today it is near the end of July 2019. So today's one of those days where I am filling in the gaps, and I was looking back at some of our old vloggy stuff. For those of you who don't know us, we've been on the road as a digital nomad family, traveling family for about 2.5 years, and we started with one child, now we have two. Yeah, we recorded some vloggy type stuff when we first started, but wasn't always very good at getting it up. The journey was different back then, but anyway, I thought I'd take this opportunity. I found a couple of videos of when we were in Bali. I only probably did two, and one was at the beginning and one was at the end. So I thought, oh well, I need to put a bit of an introduction around them. And the first one was our first day, back on our first day in Bali. This was in January 2018. Now, at the time, we'd been happy in Malaysia for 10 months and just sort of recovering, getting our, feeling like we can start all over again and build a new life. But yeah, we really had only got Malaysia as our sort of only frame of reference, and we're very happy with that, and circumstances dictated we needed to move on. Now, behind the scenes of what you can't see, there was still quite a lot of stress around. We were low on funds, and we were deciding whether we needed to invest in a mastermind, and we decided to, and that's why we were in Bali for this mastermind. And it felt like a big decision at the time, and there were stresses related to it. The next video clip is just me sort of waking up first morning in Bali, reflecting on a few things, and and where we were going to go. But I just wanted you to share, I wanted you to see my energy levels, and it's quite clear at the time, despite what I was saying, I was not as excited. I'll follow up with another sort of what happened in between clip, and then the final clip is summing up 6 months in Bali. Oh, by the way, remember, if you like what we're doing, please remember to give us a thumbs up, and we are getting better and better at getting video up. We will get more up to date, so yeah, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for a notification when new stuff comes, because it is coming. On with the show. Greetings from Bali. We arrived last night. A long day, but quite a relaxed day. We had a very slow day, didn't rush too much. So our day of waking up, breakfast, commuting out to Kuala Lumpur airport, and then the flight. Plenty of time to relax and hang around airports, and didn't overdo it with stresses and strains, and that meant we were fairly present for little Miss and her needs, because it was a long day, so. And yeah, even with taking it slow, she was pretty tired last night, as pointed out. I wake up, I am here in, we've booked a hotel that is just a few doors down from where the mastermind will take place. That's the event we're attending in a few days' time. So we've got a few days here, and we've got a couple of key objectives. The first and most important one is to make sure that we have a nanny for Ayla for the mastermind event. We've in theory arranged all that, but I think we'd like to dot our I's and cross our T's. It's a new experience, and we originally thought we would have her in a kids club program inside the hotel where the mastermind was originally scheduled to take place, but the event, for very good reasons, had to change logistics, so had to change the venue, and that took away the kids club option, and we've just been trying to make a nanny scenario work. And as I say, that's new territory for us. We've not spent that much time away from Ayla, certainly none since we've been in Asia. She used to go to a house back in Christchurch, but this was a long while ago, and it wasn't very long, and we seem to be much more closer to her then. But I believe the nanny will come out to the hotel, and there's a swimming pool here, and all the nannies can swim, and they've got all the first aid things they need. So as long as that exercise progresses,
to keep two concerned parents happy, we will go for it, and look forward to getting fully into the mastermind with the Unstoppable family. So we're very excited about that. And then that leaves us a few days afterwards where we have a few days accommodation needs before we move into our house sit, which starts at the beginning of February. And none of the distances are massive, but we haven't got our bearings yet. This is the first daylight I've seen of Bali on this trip. So first, that's our first top level objective. The short-term objective is just to find ourselves some co-working space that we can get back into our routines. So we were in a pretty good and productive spot when we were in Penang, and we've been there a while. We felt at home. Our rhythms, our productivity was all fairly solid. Everything was getting better. Nothing was moving as quick as we'd like, but everything was slowly but surely, the building blocks were dropping into place. And of course, with change comes disruption and interruption, and now we've got to go again. So the first thing we're doing is trying to keep our days set. So Ellie's going into the office on Tuesdays and Fridays. I've been going on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, so it's Thursday, so my job today is to try and find a co-working space. As I say, Ellie identified a few mixed reviews, a bit difficult to know what each really does provide. So I got a few on Google Maps. I'm up relatively early. I haven't got up quite as early as I normally do, partly because of the transition and also partly because it appears that some of the places I want to go to don't even open until quite late in the morning, whereas we've been used to 24/7. So all in all, excited to be here. It is our preferred option, to be excited about possibilities rather than worry about things that we can't control. So I finished my breakfast. I probably went for the more Western continental options. I still haven't quite got used to rice for breakfast, so a mixture of fruit and toast and an omelette, and I feel good to go. It's pretty cool, so I don't think I'm going to have to sweat like a trooper to get wherever I'm going, but I could be wrong about that. It certainly rained overnight. It's very wet around here, and I believe there's several within 45 minutes walking distance, but they're not all in the same direction. So I'm going to have to pick a direction. I will let you know how we get on. Over and out from Bali.
Okay, so what happened in Bali? Well, I won't spoil the final part of the show, but we were there for 5.5 months and we pretty much settled into a nice routine there. There were definitely some ups and downs, but what really stood out is that we proved to ourselves that we could get up and leave, pack up and go and start in another country, and that, I guess, that started to firm up our belief. It firmed up our belief that we could make location independence work. You know, we could still keep on working, we could maintain relationships and get and start new friendships and look after our daughter. So yeah, so we just, you know, like anywhere else, we found places to go. We found our local restaurants and we found our local hotspots, and we settled into life. As I say, there were some ups and downs. The house sit itself was great to have a house sit for 6 months, but it wasn't that comfortable for a family, and that did cause some stresses and strains. But all in all, it was a positive experience. And there's a lot more videos coming of things we did in Bali. Didn't really do any vloggy type ones, which is why I'm trying to fill in the gaps. But yeah, there will be some more videos of our adventures. So, but what was the lowest point and what was the highest point? I have to share these because the lowest point led to the highest point. So the lowest point was probably Ellie getting sick, and she got really sick, stomach cramps. You know, at first you think it's the Bali belly, and she was, you know, just all coming out, throwing up, but really violent stomach cramps, and it was not pleasant, and it didn't go away, and we didn't know how to combat it. Ellie's approach is more natural and holistic, and so we were trying to keep the drugs to a minimum. It was going nowhere, and it's like, hun, it's time to go to the hospital or get yourself checked out. So that's what she did, and it turned out she actually had a parasite in her stomach, and who knows how long it had been there. Could have been new, could have been a year or so, but this parasite needed treating, and so that's what they did. They started treating her. So that was the low point. But what this treatment did, I can't remember exactly what she took, but she did take some antibiotics or some drugs or whatever, and this treatment knocked out her woman's cycle, and lo and behold, within a few weeks we were pregnant. And so that was the high point of Bali, discovering that we were pregnant. It was wanted, but it was unplanned. So and as you know, at the time I'm recording this, our little girl, or if you don't know, our little girl has been born, and she is 6 months old. So I'm going back a bit of time. So that was the high point. So yeah, so Bali had some ups and downs, and the next clip I'll reflect on those. We proved to ourselves in between that we could live in another country, pack up and go. We had the lows of sickness, and we had the highs of pregnancy, and there'll be plenty more to follow. So I'll cut it here, watch the next clip, and expect to see more. Remember, if you haven't pressed the subscribe button, make sure you do that now, and click on the bell, and you'll see plenty more. Okay, take care now. Greetings. It is our final Sunday in Bali. And we come down to a place called La Laguna, where there's a bit of an outdoor market going on, a brand new thing, and it just seemed like an interesting thing to do. Also a chance to catch up with some friends, if any of you have been following. Hung out with lovely family from the States a few times, Azizi and Ula, and then two beautiful girls. We're going to meet them. But I just thought I would just wander down and dip my toes in the ocean, feel the water between my feet. So this could be the last time I'm down the beach. We'll probably try and treat Monday and Tuesday as a work day each. One for Eddie, one for me. And then we'll be heading out on Wednesday morning to a new part of our adventure. So yeah, it's the 1st of July today, which means we've been in Bali pretty much about 5.5 months. We knew we could make it work for 6 months for a visa on a single entry. Yeah, and Bali's been interesting. Ed and I were just discussing pros and cons. I'm sure we'll reflect on it more. I'm not a huge fan. Bali's been good for us in terms of making progress on a few things and meeting some people that have been really instrumental, pivotal to how we think and what we do next. That's been huge. And actually I should be a bit more specific. It's not Bali, it's just the areas we've been up. They've not been bad or anything like that, but just probably not my cup of tea. I've been a bit underwhelmed by some of the things I've come across. A bit crowded, a little bit noisy and dirty. And I don't mean that's not Bali's part of Indonesia. It's a third world country. Yeah, just haven't seen anything here in particular that I wouldn't think you could get in other parts. Ellie's really enjoyed certain aspects of it, probably a little more than me. And would we come back to Bali? Ellie would definitely come back, and there's other parts she wants to visit. The north of the island, we've been out to the east on a previous visit, and we really loved that. Maybe where it's less developed and a bit quieter. I'm not a never say never guy. We would come again if all the circumstances lined up, but there's certainly other places I'd want to come before here. And that's really no different from anything else in life. If you've got a challenge that's going on in your life, it's all about what you want and what you're willing to do to get what you want. There'll be elements about Bali that are absolutely spot on for whatever you're trying to do, whether it's a holiday or whether it's something a bit more long term. We've met a lot of world schoolers here, and Bali is a place and you can hang out and meet other world schooling families. So it's perfect we've met have not wanted to be in the sort of Seminyak, Kuta, Chengu area. They wanted to be in the Ubuds and the Ahmeds where they're a bit quieter. And there's other people that absolutely love it here. You know, it's great surf, lots for the families to do. So it's really down to what your perception is, what your goals are, how you want to live your life, and those sorts of things. It isn't Bali, it isn't the areas. It's what you're trying to achieve, what you want to do. So ask lots of questions and find people who are doing what you want to do, and the areas we've been to may be exactly what you want, or they may be not, and there's other parts of Bali or other parts of the world. So all in all, really glad we came. It served the purpose. We loved obviously the fact we had a house sit for so long. Definitely served the purpose. We got to meet world schooling families, which we hadn't when we were in Malaysia, and that's opened our eyes up to possibilities, and now we have other families that we can hang out with and meet in other parts of the world. And when we go to Thailand, we'll be taking in a conference where we're going to expand those networks. And we obviously went to the mastermind at the beginning of the year, and that opened our eyes to possibilities and opened up relationships, and I'm about to launch a venture that is going to be partnering up with some of those guys if all goes according to plan. So we couldn't have done that if we hadn't come to Bali. So all in all, it's been a plus. So let's see what happens from here. Thanks very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed that. Remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you want to stick around, you'll see something from YouTube recommends down here. Our latest video should be up here. And if you want to see more from us in the future, make sure you press subscribe. Till next time, see you later.